Have you ever wondered if humans and monkeys share a common ancestor, why are our bodies almost hairless? After all, fur is incredibly useful. It keeps animals warm, protects their skin from the sun, and even helps keep insects away. So why did humans lose most of it? Did our ancestors somehow evolve without needing fur? Or is there a much more surprising reason behind it? Today, we're diving into one of the biggest mysteries of human evolution, why humans became the nearly hairless primates we are today. Imagine traveling back about 6 to 7 million years ago. At that time, modern humans didn't exist yet. Instead, our ancestors were primates living in the forests of Africa. Their bodies were covered in thick fur, much like modern chimpanzees. Fur was a valuable survival tool. During cold nights, it trapped body heat and kept them warm. It also protected their skin from scratches, insects, and harsh weather conditions. From an evolutionary perspective, losing fur sounds like a terrible idea, so why did it happen? The answer begins with a major environmental change in Africa. Millions of years ago, vast forests gradually gave way to open grasslands. Human ancestors could no longer spend their entire lives in trees. They began spending more time walking on the ground, and this created a serious problem. The African sun was brutally hot. For an animal covered in thick fur, traveling long distances under direct sunlight could cause dangerous overheating. Imagine wearing a heavy winter jacket all day in 40 degrees Celsius weather. That's roughly what it would feel like. Most mammals deal with heat by panting. Dogs do it. Wolves do it. Many primates use the same method. Humans, however, evolved a much more effective cooling system. Sweating. The human body contains millions of sweat glands spread across the skin. When sweat evaporates, it carries heat away from the body. This cooling system is remarkably efficient. In fact, it's one of the reasons humans can stay active for long periods in hot environments. But there's a catch. Sweat doesn't work very well when trapped beneath a thick layer of fur. As a result, individuals with thinner body hair could cool themselves more effectively while walking or hunting under the sun. Over hundreds of thousands of generations, body hair gradually became thinner and less dense. This adaptation gave humans a major advantage. Early humans were long-distance hunters. They didn't always rely on speed or strength to catch prey. Instead, they often used a strategy known as persistence hunting. This involved chasing an animal for hours until it became exhausted. A deer can run much faster than a human, but it cannot keep running indefinitely under the blazing sun. Eventually, its body overheats. Humans, on the other hand, can continue walking, jogging, and sweating for hours. In the end, the exhausted animal slows down or collapses, allowing humans to capture it. This simple but powerful strategy may have helped our ancestors survive and thrive. But the cooling theory isn't the only explanation. Another fascinating idea involves parasites. Imagine living millions of years ago without soap, medicine, or modern hygiene. Thick fur would have been the perfect habitat for lice, ticks, fleas, and other parasites. These tiny creatures weren't just annoying, they could spread dangerous diseases. Individuals with less body hair may have found it easier to stay clean and reduce parasite infestations. As a result, they may have been healthier and more likely to survive long enough to have offspring. Over time, natural selection could have favored reduced body hair. But if humans lost most of their fur to stay cool, why did we keep the hair on our heads? At first glance, that seems contradictory. The answer lies in protecting the brain. When early humans spent long hours under direct sunlight, the head absorbed a tremendous amount of heat. The brain is extremely sensitive to temperature changes. Hair on the scalp acts like a natural shield, reducing the amount of solar heat reaching the skin. In other words, humans lost hair where cooling was beneficial and retained it where protection was essential. It's a clever evolutionary compromise. Interestingly, humans didn't actually lose all their hair. Take a closer look at your arms or legs. You'll notice countless tiny hairs covering your skin. In fact, humans have a similar number of hair follicles to chimpanzees. The difference is that our hairs are much thinner, shorter, and lighter. That's why we appear almost hairless. Technically speaking, humans are still covered in hair. It's just far less noticeable. This raises another question. If losing fur was such a great evolutionary advantage, why didn't every animal evolve the same way? The answer is simple. Different species face different challenges. Bears need thick fur to survive cold climates. Monkeys living in forests benefit from protection against insects and changing weather. Humans evolved in environments where endurance, cooling efficiency, and long-distance travel became critical for survival. Evolution doesn't work toward a specific goal. It simply favors traits that improve survival and reproduction in a particular environment. What works for one species may not work for another. There's also another intriguing theory. Some scientists believe that reduced body hair may have played a role in sexual selection. With more visible skin, it became easier to assess a person's health and physical condition. Healthy skin could signal fewer parasites, fewer diseases, and better overall fitness. Over time, individuals with certain traits may have been considered more attractive as mates. While this theory remains debated, many researchers believe it may have contributed to the gradual loss of body hair. So, why don't humans have fur like monkeys? The most likely answer is that there wasn't just one reason. Instead, several factors worked together over millions of years. Environmental changes in Africa, the evolution of efficient sweating, advantages in endurance hunting, reduced parasite loads, protection of the brain, and possibly even mate selection. Combined, these forces shaped the nearly hairless species we know today. The next time you see a chimpanzee covered in thick fur, remember that humans and chimpanzees share a distant common ancestor. The dramatic difference between us today is the result of millions of years of gradual evolutionary change. And perhaps the more interesting question isn't why humans lost their fur, but what if we never had? Would we still have built cities, developed technology, and created modern civilization? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating videos about human evolution, history, and the mysteries of our past. See you in the next video.